Yeah, Will? How's that working out for you? You have to remember something. We're dealing with children. They need to be terrified.
All right, welcome back. Sue Sylvester's coming back to TV September 21st.
Excellent.
This is the time. All your favorites are returning, so get out that pen. It's time to make a list. And to help us, back from fancast.com, Julie Zied.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, all right, so Glee, this is the group that I don't call it a comeback, they're just going for round 2. Not a comeback, because a lot of them did really well in the first season, but what are the sophomore shows that you're looking forward to?
There are a bunch of shows that I'm really excited about this season. Obviously, Glee had an incredible first season. Modern Family had a great first season, picked up a bunch of Emmys this past weekend. And then there's Vampire Diaries and The Good Wife, so CW and CBS. All of these shows have been sort of critically praised and have gotten great ratings. Vampire Diaries was a huge hit for the CW. That's coming back this Thursday. And, all of these shows, I wouldn't call it a coincidence that we've seen really great network shows in their freshman season coming back and hopefully coming back strong this year.
Sure. And what's interesting, too, is that sometimes you see after season 1 they've found their footing. And now you get what the show is about. And even if you just tuned in for the curiosity factor, now you're either a fan or you were watching the Emmys and you say, what's Modern Family? Okay, now I'm going to watch it.
Exactly, yeah. And I think Modern Family is a perfect example of that. And they've grown. That's become such a huge hit for ABC. And I'm so excited for them just because they seem to have really, like you said, found their footing. And ABC is sort of lined up this great comedy block with Cougar Town also, which is coming back for another season. And, it's a great time for comedies on network TV.
I was going to add Cougar Town because I remember reading that there was some report that they were definitely trying to figure out what this show was going to be, and by the end of the first season they did. And now, to start the second season, Courtney Cox is bringing in her friend Jennifer Aniston for this season 2 premiere.
No way.
So, too soon to be bringing in the gimmicky guest stars, or you think that's a good one?
Guns?
No, I think they have such great chemistry, and everybody also knows that they're friends, and I think everybody was sort of expecting that Jennifer would be coming on at some point or another because they had talked about it. And I think, who doesn't love Jennifer Aniston? Who doesn't love the two of them together? I'm a huge fan. In terms of gimmicky, these shows need the ratings sort of at the end of the day too. And I think if they wind up having great chemistry on air, and if they wind up having a really exciting episode, then people are going to be cool with it.
Sure, absolutely. And so now I want to talk about some newbies that you've listed. Nikita, which is the second TV adaptation of La Femme Nikita, starring Maggie Q. And also The Event and Lone Star, which we do have a quick Lone Star clip.
Oh, great.
So just going to throw to that, and then we'll discuss why these are your top 3.
You with me on this, Bob?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. Because as of this morning, I have an empty office on the 30th floor. And I think you might be the man to fill it.
Just leave, Travis.
You got her thinking you're so in love. But there's a lot of days I drive by and there's no car in that driveway. You don't think she gets lonely and calls me? I'm gonna have to fill in.
All right, we're back, and we're talking about, now, you have talked about Lone Star before. You said it's kind of a soapy drama. So why is that in your top 3?
I'm so happy to see the return of the evening soap on Fox, and I think that the conceit is it's this guy, he's living 2 lives, he's got a wife in one town, he's got a girlfriend in another, nobody really knows what's gonna happen, and there's a huge twist at the end of the pilot, and Jimmy Wolk, who's the lead, he's so dreamy.
Oh, you think?
Oh, do you have an opinion?
I think he's pretty hot actually. Actually, what do you think?
Sure.
Yes.
Majority
She's
rule.
very professional on that, so.
So this is what, and everybody's been talking about him being compared to Clooney, him being the new George Clooney, sort of a mixture between Clooney and Kyle Chandler, and he, from Friday Night Lights, and he is just so believable in this role, and I'm so excited to see a new face, and that face is his and it happens to be hot. And so John Voight is also in it, so it's nice to see him coming back to TV in a strong role. And I think this one is gonna sort of like build up steam. I think it's gonna have to develop sort of a fan base, and hopefully Fox will give it the room to grow.
And it does, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, have a lead-in from House, right?
Yes.
It's going to be following House.
So, I mean, there you go. And they've been promoting it. And they've been promoting it like crazy. You know, they aren't shying away from getting viewers.
Sure. And now another show that we mentioned that is on your list of newbies is The Event. And I hear this listed in context of certain shows that might be trying to pick up those lost. I think Variety had a whole piece on this. Those lost mystery thrillers, what's going on.
Right.
And even the commercials, even when you try to figure out what's going on in the show just by that, I'm not sure. What is The Event? Can you tell me?
Nobody knows what The Event is. And it's still not answered in the pilot either. The thing that I think differentiates this from a show like Lost, and they've talked about this too, is that they're going to answer questions. They're not going to drag things out for 6 seasons and have people completely confused. They're gonna start answering questions right away. And I think the thing that's exciting about The Event is there's a whole build-up in the first episode, and you really have no idea what's happening. You're sort of confused but intrigued, and then in the last minute of the pilot, this big thing happens. Whether or not that is the event, I can't say. After it ends, you're sort of like, wait a minute, now I have to tune in. They've done a great job of making you have to tune in the next week. So what The Event is, I still can't say. But hopefully, once you watch episode 2, you'll have a better idea.
Okay. And also, Lone Star is on one of your overall not-to-miss top 3, and so is something that has been catching my eye for so long now, Boardwalk Empire on HBO. It's, $5 million set. They recreated Atlantic City, set in 1920 during the first year of Prohibition. And Martin Scorsese directed the pilot, and now he's executive producer, and it's starring Steve Buscemi. So you have Steve Buscemi, Martin Scorsese, HBO. What do you think, Boardwalk Empire?
Guys, this is my favorite show of the fall. I mean, I really I have to gush about it. I've seen the first 6 episodes.
Sure.
And I just can't say enough good things about it. Steve Buscemi is totally believable in this role as Nucky.
He's very talented.
Right. He's incredibly talented. Yeah. And based on the real life treasurer of Atlantic City, this guy Nucky Thompson. And it's just an all-star cast. It's directed so beautifully. It's kind of like HBO is hoping to have the next Sopranos here with this one.
Really?
And I think they're gonna hit the jackpot with it. I mean, they've got True Blood, which is a huge hit for them, but they're really looking for another big series to propel them forward, and I think this could really be it.
And although, can you recreate the success of The Sopranos even though you're talking about 1920s? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
In the sense of, people love to see the wardrobe and the music and all of that of a different time, but do those shows tend to do as well as something where, you see James Gandolfini driving across the bridge to New Jersey, getting off of the exit, some people live at, do you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think gangsters are gangsters, and people who are into that kind of drama or that kind of show are going to be interested in it. And I think when you see this and you realize, yes, okay, it's a great character drama and it's great time, and it's a great period to just explore in general, because you're like, wow, there was a time when alcohol wasn't legal and this stuff was actually happening, and they really take the time to develop the characters, and I think you're going to become really invested with these guys. And also because there are portrayals of real life people like Al Capone. It's a mixture of real life characters and then sort of these scripted, created characters, these fictional characters. And I do think they could totally recreate that magic of The Sopranos in this, and because it has Sopranos vets writers and executive producers who worked on that show too, who know how to bring you in.
Perhaps go ahead.
No, I was just going to say perhaps it'll capitalize on the popularity of a period piece like Mad Men as well. I think that's gotten people excited about, like you said, the sets and the glamour and stuff of different periods. And from the few clips I've seen, they seem to have invested a great deal in attention to detail to an entirely different era with the costumes. And
I mean, it's incredible what they wound up doing. And it's incredible that they wound up being able to recreate that boardwalk, which is so memorable and everybody knows it. And also because, like, if you know how Atlantic City is now, I mean, it's sort of become Disneyfied, you know, right? It's sort of a shade of its former self. And this is so great to go back and sort of experience, like, what it was like at its heyday when business was booming and it was corrupt, but it was exciting, and, you know, it's fun to be able to watch something like that.
So just to review, your top 3, not to miss, so we had Boardwalk Empire, we had Lone Star, and
The Event.
Oh, I thought Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, that one. Yes. Sorry, I'm like, there are so many shows that I don't want to
I don't miss any shows on TV this season.
Hawaii 5-0 is the other one, which I am so excited about because I'm typically not a huge procedural girl. But not that I have any problem with them, I should say that. But I was so excited watching this because Alex O'Loughlin is so awesome, and everybody at CBS has been sort of has been championing his cause to try and find a show that would be the perfect fit for him, and him with Scott Conn, who's hilarious also on Entourage. They sort of have this bromance that's great, and they have this great chemistry together. And it's an incredibly expensive pilot. When you watch it, it's kind of shocking in the first couple of minutes. There's a huge helicopter scene, there's a shootout, but Nina Tassler, who's the president of entertainment at CBS, said that they actually used the old Lost sets in Hawaii to save money.
Smart.
Which was, I thought, incredibly smart. Yeah, so they basically circumvented, right, all those expenses, and created this pilot that's so fun. I want to say that it could beat NCIS as the top drama on CBS.
Wow, bold.
I know. I'm kind of convinced of this, actually. It's just it's fun, it's smart, there's great soundtrack, everything is shot well, and I feel like week over week it'll just keep getting better. There'll be a continued storyline.
So now, and I know we didn't have time to get to the showdowns, but you have some major showdowns of shows that are going to go against each other and who might win. Fancast.com, do you have those on there? Can people check out your showdowns?
Yeah.
Okay.
What we mean by showdowns is just the different time slot battles between who we think is going to win at the 10 o'clock hour, the 8 o'clock hour, on different nights of the week, because TV's kind of crowded right now.
It is. All right, we'll definitely go to fancast.com to check those out. And then just 2 other things of note, because we're talking most of those shows premiere next week or the week after. Is that right?
Yes.
Even a week after that.
In the next few weeks. The next 3 weeks is like fall TV madness.
So starting next week.
This week starts CW.
Okay.
All the CW shows are premiering except for Gossip Girl, which is next week.
Okay.
But all
That's
of those
probably what
shows,
confused me.
starting this week. It's like another month. It's a sprint, a marathon, and you just got to get through it.
Absolutely. And so I just wanted to say tonight is actually Sons of Anarchy premiere, so there's something to tune into tonight if you needed that. And then also wanted to make mention to tune in, because we may not see you before then. September 10th is the Stand Up to Cancer TV fundraiser event, which airs across ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and HBO. Stars will be participating by performing. Also, I assume manning the phones and everything like that. So that is September 10th across the board. And those are just a couple of the things to tune into. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Julie Zied, really appreciate it. Fancast.com. I know that you did ask about a couple of shows, like Bleep My Father Says. I saw that. I'm sure you're talking about it on fancast.com.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Bleep My Dad Says.
All right, so log on there and stay with us. We're going to take a quick break and then more headlines.